What's up, guys? This is Arslan, and we about to read Azrael, Death's Dark Knight, issue number 1. Let's get into it. Jimmy the Bat, not the Batman, but the Batman. Louisville slugger, bone breaker for the mob. You're making a mistake. Oh no, Johnny Stitches will be scared of me. Scared? You're my message to Jimmy. God's justice has come. It has come to Gotham City. No, you don't get it. I'm a cop. I've been undercover in Stitch's gang for 6 months. Really? I don't carry my shield. I can give you a number to call and ask. What? Did the police officer beat people, many people, people in the name of his job? No, I mean, yes. Okay, but they were punks. You have to. I had to. I was undercover. You say your actions were in service of a greater justice. Yes. So are mine. And we see Azrael grab his flaming sword. Azrael then strikes down the cop. I serve God's justice, and this is the beginning. To Azrael, Death's Dark Knight, Book 1, Simple Sacrifices. Bodice? Been here about 6 hours. Yeah, tag that there. No blood splatter. Again, like the hit at Nini's. What should we canvass? Nothing but empty warehouses here. Sergeant Bullock is a victim of one of Johnny Stitch's men. Come on, Harvey. Give a girl something. How to go back to being a vulture, huh, Vale? Everyone gets second chances in Gotham, right, Harvey? Are you sure he committed this murder? He admitted it to me, sir, but he called it necessary sin. He's lost to us, Leland. He was just given the suit of sorrow 6 weeks ago. We knew this was a possibility when the order rushed. The decision is why they chose to use an expendable resource. Don't talk about him like that. Adrian, what will we do with the young man? Take care of. I see. But where will we find another poor, lost soul to serve as a soldier of God, if by serving our cause he is signing his own death warrant? Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. It has been 8 weeks and 4 days since my last confession. And what sins you have to confess. I helped kill the Batman. Michael Washington Lane, age 27, born to Mitchell and Barbara Lane in Gotham City, graduated from East End High, football scholarship to Guy U, linebacker for the Nighthawks. Scholarship was revoked his sophomore year after he beat his coach unconscious. Here, enlisted in the Marines, married Shantae Kose, 1 child, a boy named Henry Mitchell Lane. Served tours in Iraq with the 1st Marine. He joined Gotham City Police, department uniformed patrolman, walked the beat in his old neighborhood, the East End. Clean record. His son died later at an age 3, hit by a car. Wife committed suicide 2 years ago. Lane's siblings Marion Martin Lane and Gwendolyn Elisa Lane were killed 18 months ago by an apparent Satan Cole. The murders remain unresolved. We talk about over here, this broke Lane. He was quietly dismissed from the GCPD with a full pension. I'm quite familiar with the story. The Lanes are from my district. I know, Miss Gomez. In that case, did Mr. Parentino? I question what compels you to call this gathering on such notice and ask us to consider this poor, tortured man as our next candidate. What I found out about him will convince you. But if Garrett is his priest, and he might recognize Felicidad as his assemblywoman, do you think that this is wise? I do, Mr. McQuay. It helps make Lane feel vested in our cause. It humanizes us, and him. Unlike the traditional methods of preparation, the overseas factions of the order employed this with a previous candidate. Now as the whiter think he can handle the physical part. Well, you can clearly see he is that. Corbett Lane was a candidate in a secret program between the military and the GCPD to identify, train potential replacements for Batman, should he fall in battle. Lane was among the 3 chosen. Something happened to all 3, a psychosis of some kind. Lane was the only survivor. He'd been in hiding for weeks until he stumbled into this church. Adrian, mysterious sources might be questionable, but they do confirm everything Michael told me in this confession. Lord, forgive us what we are to ask this man, and heaven help him if he says yes. And we're at a cemetery. You knew I was here, didn't you? MJ and Tamara are with my mom. Michael, I figured you'd be here, 'cause it's, an anniversary. We see the graves of Mitchell Douglas Lane, Shantae Jericho Lane, Henry Mitchell Lane, Marion Martin Lane, and Gwendolyn Elisa Lane. In that case, Jenny, I guess you could find me here every day. Your niece and nephews miss you. I miss you, Michael. And he walks away. She is majestic by day, but with a detective gun. Come night, the city will burn. The suits of Zoros is out there somewhere. The man who stole it from the Batcave is out there somewhere. Find them both, but only bring one back to me. As we see a group of eclectic henchmen gather around. We're continuing our live coverage of the escalated violence in Gotham. Commissioner Gordon has requested help from the National Guard. Robin is out there now, Dick. I've rounded up a fair amount of the network to help him. I know, Babs, I'm leaving the Batcave in a minute to help, but this undercover cop who was killed is nagging me. You think it was Jason Todd? No. Well, if he's in Gotham, he's always a suspect, right? Not this time. The wound was cauterized. That's 2 deaths with the same M.O. The M.E. thinks it happened as he was beheaded.
See the scorch marks by the neck stump? Fire. Decapitated by a flaming sword. Oracle, are you saying Azrael's back? If John Paul Valley were alive, he wouldn't be killing cops. Better just to add it to the growing list, Dick. Looks like someone knows the truth about Batman, and they're calling out Nightwing. And we jump back to a flashback where we see Michael Lane meet Harvey and how he gets convinced. What is that? Rest in peace. Does that mean that Batman's dead? That's true. Michael, are you the next in line to wear the cowl? As Michael turns around and grabs Harvey by the neck. Talk. Okay, but how about over a beer or something? 'Cause this could take a while. 100 years ago, the Order of St. Thomas began as part of the Knights Templar. A group of select knights fought in the Casinos and eventually broke from the church. They established their own secret cabal nestled in Switzerland and created an angel of vengeance to protect the sword. This defender was named Azrael. We belong to a much less Lord Loomis splinter group of Dumas, called the Order of Purity. We didn't like how Dumas was spreading their faith, so ours was a more peaceful approach, but we still need protection. So an armor was crafted, forged from melted blades and breastplates of dozens of good slain soldiers, and that became the pseudo-Saris. Burdened with the sword of sin and blessed by the sword of salvation, our own version of Azrael quietly defended the Order of Purity, but at a great personal price. But over time, the seal was lost to us. It fell into the hands of a collector named Ra's al Ghul. Recently, it was bequeathed by the daughter of Ra's to Batman and brought here to Gotham City, as you can see, and has become back into our possession. When Father D learned of your trials, we thought you might be interested in exploring some new options, an opportunity, as it were, to serve the public good. I hope you forgive me for betraying you in a confessional, Michael, but my obligations to the Order supersede even my old oath. Lose the bat symbol. It was painted all right, by Talia al Ghul, we think. Yes, we could do that. Of course we can. Yes. Good. Call me when it's ready. I think we need solvent. Could have been that easy. And should that worry us? In for a penny. As we see the henchmen gather in front of the church, an arrow flies right next to Michael's head as it lands to the door of the church. You missed. He moved. Oh, it's on. We should have told him about the suit's side effects. Bit of an interview killer, isn't it? Find a place to hide. Quickly, whack! As another arrow goes flying through, landing in Ms. Gomez's arm. Michael stands over a puddle of blood. Then he wipes across the chest of the suit of armor. That'll do. And of the other henchmen come to the pulpits, ready to say their prayers, as he's attacked by some sort of fire. Next, the henchmen are handled with ease. We go a circle former, as he grabs one of the henchmen with the whip around her neck. And one replies, he's just one man. And then another one is kicked in the face. No, not just one man. I am the Dark Knight of God. I am Azrael. Just a decent workout. And the rest of the henchmen began to bombard Azrael as he wields his flaming blade. Wish I could say the same for you. You like this? The sword of sin, they called it. Huh? as he gets stabbed from behind with a questioned face. Formidable weapon, but I prefer this one. It is called the Sword of Salvation. To be continued. As we see Azrael, or Michael Lane, the new embodiment of the Angel of Vengeance, being stabbed. With the new Nightfall series coming out, I think it's a good time for us to catch up on Azrael, and I've never heard of this version of him, so I'm down to find out. That's all. I will catch you all later. Bye.